Hello friends, welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make a Dutch oven pork roast with vegetables. So what you see on my counter is what we're going to use to make this pork roast. And there's really not a lot involved in this. It's very easy to get it together, set it up, and get everything ready to roll with this. Literally, the longest time this is going to take is actually the time in your oven when it's cooking to actually get everything cooked to temperature and make sure that it's just everything you want it to be. So what we're going to do is preheat our ovens to 325 degrees because we're going to be cooking this until it gets to an internal temperature of 145 degrees, which if you are actually going to put your pork in, you want to need to know what weight it is because you're going to cook this for at least 25 minutes per pound. And you want to stick to this. You could actually go a little higher on the minutes per pound to almost 30 if you wanted to make sure that it's very much cooked inside. But you want to make sure that when it's done, it's at least 145 degrees inside of the pork. So we're going to take our Dutch oven. We're going to put between 3 and 4 tablespoons of olive oil in the bottom. And then we're going to add in some vegetables to this because we want to add in at least 3/4 cup of carrots. You can use baby carrots like I used, 1 small onion which is cut up, and about 3 stalks of celery which we're going to cut into larger pieces. These do not have to be small pieces of anything because they're going to go underneath of the meat. So once those are in place, we're going to add in our pork roast. Mine has a bone in. You can do it boneless, but whichever is the case, just make sure that you get one that fits inside of your Dutch oven. And we're going to cut the top of this because we want to push some of the seasonings inside to make sure that it cooks really well and gets a good flavor. So once you get it cut up, we're going to use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of garlic that's been minced up, and you want to press that into those cuts so that way when it cooks in, it's going to cook inside of the meat. Then we're going to add at least a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper. Then we're adding 1 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and then a half a teaspoon of paprika. All of this working together is going to give this meat such a great flavor. Now you want to take your hand and push this into the top of the meat and especially into some of the cuts that you made so that way it will actually get in there and flavor everything. Then into our Dutch oven we're going to put between a cup and a half of chicken broth. This is going to actually help cook, and the vegetables mixed with this are going to give a lot of flavor underneath of the meat as it's cooking. Now, once you get everything set and ready to go here, we're just going to add a little bit of olive oil on top of the seasoning we put on this. This is just going to help it cook a little bit. And our oven should be heated up to the point where we're at 325 and ready to put this in. So, this is mine. When I pulled it out, there's about 40 minutes left on the timer. So I'm going to add about a half a cup of chicken broth to this just to bring it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use a pound of potatoes in this, which these are the little round potatoes. And I'm just going to put them around the roast to where they're hitting the water level, the liquid level of it. So that way, as this is cooking, it's going to cook the potatoes because there's enough moisture from your chicken broth to actually cook into the potatoes themselves. But once everything is back in here and everything is ready to roll and you got all your potatoes in, this has to go back in your oven for at least 40 minutes to cook. So that way you make sure the potatoes are completely done. But we also need to check at the end to make sure that the temperature is at least 145 degrees inside the meat to make sure it's done as well. And when you're done with it, it will look something like this. And this is what my pot looked like when it came out of the oven. So my Dutch oven actually did its job. Now, if you're doing this in a regular pan or something, your cook time may be different because Dutch ovens do cook a little faster because they're containing the heat within. And this is what it looked like when I plated mine for my table. And it looked amazing and tasted great. So this is great for a family dinner. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out my cookbooks, which are available in bookstores worldwide. The first is about everyday cooking. The second is all about baking. Have a great day, everyone.